Dimma sat quietly in her corner of the room, staring at the bare walls that had become her prison. It had been only 6 months since she married Uche, but it felt like an eternity. When she moved into his family house, she had been full of excitement and hope, looking forward to a new chapter of life as a wife. But that joy quickly withered away like a flower scorched by the sun. Uche, her husband, was the breadwinner of the family, and he rented an apartment where he lived with his mother and his elder sister. He could not afford to rent a separate one at the time, and so he brought Dimma in there too. The first few days after the wedding were pleasant. Uche's mother, Mamuche, had smiled warmly at her, and his older sister, Amara, had been polite too. Uche worked at a factory and left very early every morning, returning home late at night. Dimma did not mind his schedule because she knew it was for the good of their future. But soon after Uche was out of the house, the atmosphere shifted. But soon after Uche was out of the house, the atmosphere shifted. It started with small things like Amara demanding that Dimma did the dishes right after breakfast, even though Amara herself would not lift a finger. Dimma, don't you know it is your duty to clean up after us? We are a family now and you are the youngest, she said with a smirk. Dimma was startled but did not want to make a fuss. I'll do it, she replied. But things escalated quickly and every chore in the house became Dimma's responsibility. Sweeping, laundry, cooking, even fetching water from the tap at the next street. One afternoon, after a long morning of doing chores, Dimma sat down in the kitchen to have her first meal of the day. But just as she was about to take a bite, Mama Uche walked in and snatched the plate from her. Did you ask for permission before eating this? Mama Uche glared at her with malice in her voice. Dimma looked up in surprise. I didn't know I needed to ask for permission to eat, Mama. I was just hungry. You were just what? Amara cut in, appearing in the doorway. You think you can come into our family, take our brother, and then start behaving as if you own the place? You need to learn your place, Dimma. Dimma was speechless. She had never imagined that her life would turn to this. The two women constantly humiliated her, often taking food away from her when Uche was not around. She then decided to tell Uche about their behavior, hoping he would step in. One morning, as Uche was about to leave for work, Dimma gathered her courage. Uche, please, I need to talk to you about something. What is it, Dimma? I'm running late, Uche asked impatiently. It is your mother and sister. They treat me terribly when you are not around. They make me do everything and they won't even let me eat. Uche was shocked and turned to face her with a look of disbelief on his face. Are you sure? That doesn't sound like my mother or Amara. I swear, Uche, it is true. I can't endure it anymore. That is why I decided to tell you. That evening, Uche confronted his family. Mama, Amara, Dimma told me that you two have been treating her badly. Is that true? Uche asked, trying to remain calm. Mama Uche, who was always quick with her theatrics, burst into tears. Oh, Uche, my son, look at what this girl is doing. She's trying to tear us apart, just like we feared. I have done nothing but love her. And now she accuses me. I cook for her, clean for her, and this is how she repays me. Amara chipped in. She's trying to destroy our family bond, Uche. You know how close we are. She can't stand it. I warned you about her, remember? Uche was confused and torn. He trusted his wife, but his mother and sister had always been close to him. He only hoped that it was just a misunderstanding or a series of miscommunication that would be settled between them. Please, just get along, Uche finally said. I don't want any fighting in this house. But nothing changed. In fact, the situation got worse. Dimma prayed every day that Uche would find a better job so they could afford to move out. She did not want to cause problems between him and his family, but living there had become unbearable. Several months later, Uche received a life-changing offer, a job opportunity abroad. Everyone was elated. It meant financial security and a brighter future too. Dimma was overjoyed, but just before Uche's departure, she discovered that she was pregnant. "Uche, I am pregnant," she exclaimed happily. Uche too was excited. "Dimma, this is the best news. I can't wait to come back and meet our child." Just before he left, Uche pulled his mother and sister aside. "Mama, Amara, please take care of Dimma while I am away. She's carrying my child, our blood. I need you to treat her well." They nodded solemnly, but as soon as Uche boarded his plane, everything changed. "You think just because you are pregnant you can laze around?" Amara spat at Dimma one morning. "Get up and finish your chores." Dimma's hand trembled as she clutched her growing belly. She had hoped that her pregnancy would soften their hearts, but it only made things worse. Mama Uche and Amara only saw her condition as a weakness they could exploit. When Uche sent money home, he sent it through Dimma as he trusted her to manage it well. But each time the money arrived, Mama Uche would demand to see the full amount. "Let me see the money, Dimma. I want to make sure you are not hiding anything from us," Mama Uche thundered. But Dimma hesitated. "Uche told me to manage it, Mama. He wants us to save for when he returns." Mama Uche's face darkened. "Don't you dare disrespect me. Show me the money now before I break your bones." Dimma reluctantly handed over the cash, and Mama Uche would take most of it, leaving her with barely enough to survive. Dimma told Uche about it, but he only urged her to be more firm and stand up to his mother. Dimma, however, couldn't bring herself to struggle with his mother because it was obvious her mother-in-law and sister-in-law would not hesitate to beat her up, and so she endured. Months passed, and then one day something terrifying happened. Uche's calls stopped. His phone lines were no longer going through, and even Mamuche and Amara could not reach him. Dimma's heart sank with fear, but instead of sharing her worry, Mama Uche and Amara turned on her viciously. "What did you do to my son?" Mama Uche accused. "Did you kill him so you could have this house to yourself?" "I don't know what is going on, Mama. I am also scared," Dimma pleaded. "Liar!" Amara shouted. "You want to make us miserable. You want to take away our only source of livelihood." Moving on, the abuse worsened. They starved Dimma, mocked her pregnancy, and refused to help her when she finally gave birth to a baby boy. It was her friend Ada who took her to the hospital and helped with childcare. When she couldn't pay the bills, it was Dr. Uzo, the kind doctor who had seen how she struggled, that helped her with her medical bills. Dimma now had a son to take care of, and she knew that she needed to start something now. So, she decided to start selling fruits at the evening fruits markets. She would leave by 4 p.m. and come back by 7 p.m. She was doing this business and using it to take care of herself and her son. One fateful evening, after a long day of selling fruits in the market to make ends meet, Dimma returned home to find the door locked. She knocked, but no one answered. After almost 30 minutes, Amara finally appeared, but instead of letting her in, she threw her bags out and shouted, "Leave, street hawker! You are no longer welcome here. Go back to the men you have been frolicking about with." Dimma's heart shattered. She begged and begged, but Amara pushed her and her newborn aside, locking the door in their faces. Desperate and helpless, Dimma went to the hospital where she had given birth. She was scared of sleeping outside, so she decided to spend the night there. She slept in the waiting room undisturbed with her newborn baby. But very early the next morning, The nurses who had been on night duty saw her and were shocked. They asked her what she was doing there, and she explained everything to them. But just before they could recover from the shock, Dr. Uzo came out, the same doctor that had paid off her bills when she gave birth to her son. He saw Dimma and her baby and asked the nurses what they were doing there. The nurses told him, and the doctor took pity on her. He asked her to follow him, and she went with him to his house. He gave her and her baby a room and told her to get a better sleep, as he would go with her to beg her in-laws that afternoon. By afternoon, Dr. Uzo went with Dimma to her house to beg, but when her mother-in-law and sister-in-law saw them, they shouted, accusing the doctor of sleeping with Dimma and being the father of the baby. Dimma tried to defend him, but they shouted her down. Dr. Uzo was disgusted by their behavior. You want to kill her, don't you? Fine, I'll take her in. Dimma moved in with the doctor and was grateful for his kindness. However, she continued selling fruits at the market to support herself and her child. Exactly 1 year after the birth of her son, Uche returned. His family were shocked as they thought he had died. Uche looked around and didn't see Dimma or his child, and so he asked them about her. But his mother and sister filled his ears with venomous lies. She's with another man, they told him. The doctor at the central hospital is the father of her child and not you. Uche was furious and confused. He did not want to believe them. But what other explanation could there be for Dimma living with another man? He stormed out of the house impatiently, filled with doubt and anger, to look for Dimma. What really happened to Uche while he was abroad, and why did he lose contact with his family? How will Dimma react when Uche confronts her? Will she be able to prove her innocence? Will Uche believe his wife or his family? What role will Dr. Uzo play in the unfolding drama? We'll find out in the next parts. Thank you for watching this story. Please share your thoughts about the story in the comment section. Like and share the story, and subscribe to this channel if you've not done so. Thank you and remain blessed.